Hello. Welcome to lesson 1. I call this one the inner weight, because before we can unlock flow, we need to confront what's holding us back. It's true. So this first lesson is about uncovering the doubts, fears, or patterns that weigh on your energy and block your ability to move freely towards your goal. Why does this matter? Well, because clarity begins with awareness. Now, by identifying and naming what's keeping you stuck, you take the first step in releasing it. This process creates space for new possibilities, opportunities, and momentum to emerge. In this lesson, you'll explore what's underneath the surface. You'll reflect on how it shows up in your life, and you'll begin the process of hopefully letting it go. Because flow is only possible when we're no longer weighed down. Now, before we get started, I just want to mention that all the lessons I design are more like interactive workshops. So, please have a notebook handy, have an open mind, and create some intentional space for yourself to drop into some deep work. Okay? Thank you. Alrighty, let's get into it. We all carry things we never meant to pick up. Beliefs, doubts, even fears that belong more to someone else than they do to us. For example, my mom was always terrified of vampires, so as a kid, I became terrified of vampires. Now, ironically, later in life, I essentially became one. I'll let you ponder the psychology behind that one. But over time, these weights that we collect can hold us back and slow us down. Kind of like climbing a mountain with a backpack full of rocks. They end up feeling like they're part of who you are, shaping what you believe is possible. But today, we're going to name those weights for what they are, and hopefully begin to lighten the load for you. Now, this is very important. The goal here isn't to fix you, okay? You are not broken. The goal is to shine a little light into your dark corners. Just to see what's truly yours and what you're ready to let go of. Because once you name something, you can start to change your relationship with it. Or become your mother's greatest fear. Whatever works for you, whichever direction you want to go in. But most of our beliefs that are holding us back, they're not even ours, they're inherited. That's my point. Maybe you grew up hearing, "You're so sensitive," or "That's not even possible." These are the words that stick like graffiti on the walls of our mind. But here's the truth. Just because something's been there for a long time doesn't mean it belongs. When we start to name these beliefs, something shifts. A weight can lift from our shoulders. And we stop treating these beliefs as truths, and we see them as stories. Stories that we can choose to rewrite. But first, we at least need to notice them. So what you're going to do today is simple, but it's quite profound. Identify 3 beliefs that feel like heavy weights, doubts, fears, or inner voices that keep you small, that keep you caged in that teeny tiny little box. You'll ask yourself, whose voice is this? And then take the first step towards letting it go. Don't worry, I'll guide you every step of the way. Okay, let's do it. Now, before we start listing out all these beliefs, let's do a quick, gentle exercise to drop in and just see if anything comes to the surface. So, sit comfortably, and if it feels right, close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in, and exhale gently. Now let your mind wander to anything you've been telling yourself lately. Big or small. Is there a fear or a doubt that keeps popping up? Perhaps one that feels like someone else's voice altogether. Now, don't dive into negativity, just notice. Alright, on your next exhale, imagine sending a little compassion to yourself while you're there, a little hug. Let yourself know that you're safe and that you're just here exploring. All right, take one more deep breath in with me. Hold it at the top. Keep holding. and let it out fully. Now when you're ready, gently open your eyes if you haven't already, and notice how you feel. If anything came to mind, a word, a memory, a feeling, jot it down while it's present. Then we'll move on to the main activity. Now you can pause the video whenever you need to, okay? So just make space for yourself. Okay, grab your notebook and write down 3 beliefs, doubts, or fears that you notice coming up regularly. They could be statements like, I'm not creative enough, or I don't have time, or people like me don't do things like that. Don't overthink it, just notice what surfaces. Again, feel free to pause the video while you're writing. Don't rush. Now, next to each belief, note whose voice it might be. Is it a parent's, a teacher's, is it society, or maybe it's an old version of you that no longer fits? For example, if the belief is, I'm not creative, maybe you trace it back to a teacher who discouraged you one day. Now, I remember having this little anxiety attack when I was in grade 3. I was at dinner and I realized that I didn't understand the assignment that was due, and I broke down in tears. It was embarrassing. When I got back to school, instead of helping, my teacher and his ugly, thick mustache labeled me as just a daydreamer, which even I knew that was like a polite way of saying he's not smart. But remember, this step is about awareness, not judgment, okay? Again, pause here if you need some time to reflect. All right, now let's look at how these beliefs affect you. For each belief, answer these 4 questions. 1. How is a belief holding me back? 2. What opportunities or experiences might I be missing because of it? 3. What emotions come up when I think about the belief? 4. What is this belief costing me? For example, if I believe I'm just a daydreamer or less smart than others, I might miss out on deeper conversations or tackling complex tasks. I'd feel shame, embarrassment, even loneliness. Ultimately, it would cost me confidence, growth, and opportunities. Remember, there's no judgment, just pure honesty at this stage. Again, pause here to create space for yourself. Finally, choose one belief to reframe. Reframing is about shifting the story. If your belief is, I'm not creative, try something like, I'm discovering my unique way of being creative. If it's, I'll never have enough time, maybe I can create space for what matters most. For me, I'm just a daydreamer becomes, I notice parts of the world others can't see because they're distracted by reality. Now, you're not forcing positivity, you're gently inviting a new perspective. And by reflecting on how these beliefs hold you back, you've begun to see the real power that they had over you. Naming them, recognizing their impact, that's an act of self-awareness. Take your time again, pause if you need. Reframing even one belief today is the first step in rewriting your story and dropping that dead weight from your backpack. So, good work. When I did this, I found it very eye-opening, a little confronting. Hopefully you uncovered a little something that you can begin rewiring. In the next video, we'll build on this clarity by exploring how to release what no longer serves you. Okay? Nice work. I'll see you in the next vid.